Okay, hello everyone. My name is Fozia Iqbal and I was a project supervisor for Eco Soup whilst I was studying at Leeds Beckett before I graduated in 2020.
Good morning, my name is Eleanor Claxton. I'm a third year student here at Leeds Beckett and I'm studying dietetics. I joined Eco Soup in my first year and this year I've gone on to be the project supervisor. This morning we're going to give you a little bit of an insight into what Eco Soup does and how we're playing our part for sustainability. So, is it fair to say that our current food system is unsustainable and wasteful? So just think about that while I give you a few facts and figures. Currently there is 5 million people struggling to access food in the UK, but we actually waste 5 million tonnes of food each year, a quarter of which could be preserved or actually just eaten. But to add insult to injury, on a global level, we waste 1.3 billion tonnes of waste each year, which equates to 7 million passenger planes, which is quite a large number, and I was quite shocked at that, considering a lot of that is avoidable waste. Recently, we've seen a big increase in the number of food charities available. So just to name a few, there's Olio, the Felix Project, we've got Too Good To Go and the Junk Food Project. These projects take unwanted food from supermarkets, restaurants and local businesses and they turn them into meals and sustainable food packages for anyone to access. So I think whilst they're doing their part, it's now time for us to do our part and each individually take this seriously. And with this serious thinking in mind, Eco Soup was created. So I'll go back to that previous question I asked, because we feel at Eco Soup that it's fair to say that our current food system is wasteful and unsustainable.
So Eco Soup was founded in November 2016 by a society called Enactus. This society is a global non-profit organisation which brings together students, academics and businesses to create projects that support communities both locally and globally. The aim of the project was to provide healthy pay-as-you-feel meals using surplus food that would otherwise be wasted. The project also helps to develop employability skills for volunteers and creates a community within students with like-minded individuals. In April 2018, the project secured additional funding and mentoring from SOS, which is an organisation called Students Organising for Sustainability. This allowed the project to offer 2 paid supervisor roles for volunteers, and that's where I came in. And the other funding was used to develop the kitchen spaces and included cooking and preservation equipment. I got involved mainly with Eco Soup when I started my master's degree. I needed a distraction from my course because sometimes you get so involved with university. So I'm training to be an architect, and architecture is very disciplined and has a very specific way of learning. And I wanted a free experience, of a space to be more creative, to use skills that I wouldn't otherwise use in an architecture firm. So when I got into Eco Soup, I was actually given the reins. They were like, here's an empty cafe, do what you want, which was kind of scary because I'd never been in charge of anything before. I was always been, as an architect, you're a project manager, so you assist. So this is the first time I was like, wow, it's my turn. And I created the logo, I created murals, and any chance I got to basically draw on the wall, I took it. I think we ended up with about 6 murals. So I stopped making soup and I started painting. And I assisted with volunteers. I helped them get inducted into our little Eco Soup family, and it created a little community which I really enjoyed.
So when I heard about Eco Soup, I kind of jumped on the chance to be part of a project that was so worthy, and it also allowed me to combine the theory I was learning with actual real life situations. It allowed me to talk to students and staff and really understand the problem of food poverty. So Eco Soup has kind of built a community of like-minded students. We've had over 35 students come and volunteer for the project, and they've given up 115 hours so far to volunteering, and that's to painting murals, that's to making soup, coming up with recipes, making smoothies, handing out soup, promoting what Eco Soup does, talking to other students, getting them involved in talking about sustainability, and just being there for each other and just creating this really great community, and it's just a great project to be part of. It's also given us the chance to train 3 student leads, including myself and Fozia, And I think that's given us some really invaluable skills that we can now take onto our future careers and any future projects we might be able to do. It's allowed us to give us the confidence to speak publicly and to talk to absolutely everyone and anyone really. So it's just been a really amazing opportunity. But every Thursday when we are open at the moment, it also gives us that chance to kind of hammer home that idea about being sustainable and trying to educate other people that don't really understand what we're doing. It's about telling them that the soup that they're eating and enjoying has come from sustainable resources. It's come from food that would otherwise have been thrown away. It's the wonky fruit and veg. It's about telling them about those things and kind of getting them to do that when they go home, but also enjoying the soup that we make.
So how big has our impact been? In total, since the project started in 2016, we have diverted more than 1.1 tons of surplus food from landfill. We have served over 500 portions of soup and generated over £1,200 of income that will be reinvested into the enterprise and help safeguard it for the future. Over the next 12 months, we're going to scale up the project again, offering more products during opening times, including smoothies and homemade bread. We're also planning cooking and preservation classes to better educate students on how to reduce their own food. So the impact hasn't just been on saving the planet, which we clearly did by making soup. It's also impacted my life, and it's also impacted my career. So when I become an architect in a couple of years, when I'm registered, I feel like because of Eco Soup, I'll be designing differently. So the job I have right now, I'm working in Lancashire County Council and I'm assisting in designing schools. And when you're working with people who've been in the industry a bit too long and have forgotten that young people need space, and the future is all about saving the planet for us, since they've kind of broke it. So every time we have a meeting, I'm there advocating for green roofs and green facades and where can we make soup and where can we set up a stall. So I feel like Eco Soup's really influenced me as a designer, as well as making me a better person, I think. I really like the quote, every time you meet someone, you meet a new piece of yourself. And I think Eco Soup really helped me find who I wanted to be as a designer and as a university student.
Due to the nature of it being a student-led project, we're constantly it's sad to say, but we lose students, but not for bad things. We lose them because they're going into future employment, they're graduating, they're just moving on, or they finish university, or sometimes it's just those studies need a bit more time, the time that they can't quite give to Eco Soup. And for that reason, we're just trying to recruit more students, anyone that's passionate about food, about cooking, creating murals, just if you've got a smoothie idea, we want you to come along and get involved, become part of this community, and let's just help it grow, really. We want to make it as big as we can.
Yes. We want to take over the world. We want to franchise.
One soup at a time. One smoothie at a time.
We just wanted to say thank you to the SOS, the Student Organising Sustainability, for the support and funding through the project. The enterprise wouldn't be what it is today without their tutoring and backing. They helped us survive through the pandemic, and we're extremely grateful. Finally, a huge thank you to the Student Union. Without the activities team, the project might not have been able to continue. And thank you for Lyndon, who is a really good friend and boss, and one of the best people I've met through Eco Soup, as well as Ellie.